static. Yeah. Okay. Now, let's quickly deliberate. What is the first thing that we need to do here from what I said? What is the first thing that we need to do? Let's make it interactive. Yeah.
The static
testing. Okay, yeah, static testing. Okay. So how do we do static testing on this? Right.
Okay, basically we study the story that has been written and check the requirements if they are in order, if they are sufficient for the task.
Okay, cool. That is brilliant. Now, you look at the story. Does it really make sense? Right. Is it okay? Right. Does it relate to what the users or the product owner are looking for? Right. So that is the first thing. And you could also do this static testing within your sprint planning as well. Because during the sprint plan, you look at those stories and say, does it really make sense? But of course, it might not go into great detail. So after you finish your sprint planning, you can still go back and look at the story as a tester, and then you do your static testing. Okay, can we quickly do another section that you can use to do the static testing is what is called 3Amigo. Yeah. 3Amigo is a section, is an informal section, right, where developer, the BA, and the QA come together to look at the story, right, and to understand, okay, is this story, does it really make sense? So is the QA will ask questions, and so that the BA can answer to say, oh, do you really mean this? Do you really mean this? So that everyone can have understanding of that particular requirement. Okay. All right. So let's go through this. Let's say we are doing static testing on this particular story. What are we looking for? Let's quickly look at that. What are we looking for? Or how should we do this? Okay. Is this story okay? Let's someone, yeah. Anyone, let's quickly look at this. Anyone, let's have a volunteer. Anyone?
I think it makes sense.
Okay, why is that? Can you run us through that?
Okay, why I feel it makes sense is given the description of what is to be done, and when we look at the acceptance criteria, the information given and the additional information. By the time I looked into it, that the basic things that should be instrumental to the achievement of the description of the page that we are to create. So to me, it makes sense.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Manuel. Any other person that think, oh, it makes sense or it doesn't make sense?
From looking at the description, from the information gathered from the PU, I guess, by the BA, as a user on MentorSkid website, I want to view the header of the website. So, and then it was written in the acceptance criteria saying that given that I am a user on this website, correlating the description, when I navigate to the home page of the website, then I should be able to view this. So that is already corresponding to the description from the BU. So with that, the acceptance criteria is confirming that he understands what this description is all about, which is okay.
Thank you so much. I like what you've done, right? Because what you done compared to what Emmanuel did, which is also okay, is you now taking each of the step one after the other. Do you get it now? Telling me that, okay, given I am a user of MentorSkate, that is good because you are only talking about the user of a particular website. And what is that user doing? Is navigating to the home page. You are specific about the home page of that particular site. You are not talking about different sites. You are not talking about different page, okay? Then what you should see when you go to the home page, right? You should be able to view different menu. What is not said is like, what are this menu, okay, that you should see, okay? But that is what they now put in the additional information. Do you get it now? To say, when you go into that menu, you should see the home, the about us, the find a mentor, you should see contact us, you should see login, sign up, get started. Yeah. And he's also saying that all these menus should be static. It means that they should not be clickable. Now, you should have raised question and say, really, a menu should be clickable, right? So those are the questions that you need to raise, right? To say, I don't believe this is right. But why are you saying a menu should not be clickable, guys? What do you think? Samuel.
Hello, good evening.
Right.
Sorry, please, from the additional information, following menu should be arranged horizontally. The home, about us, find mentor, the rest. After the whole menu must be static. The text color for the menu should be white. The get started should be a white text in an orange rectangular box. If the color menu should be in white, what is the background color? We were not given the description of the background color. What if the background color is also white? That means the text menu being white, we invalidate it. You won't be able to see anything.
That is brilliant. That is brilliant because one way or the other, the person that wrote this already have different notion. Do you get it now? Already have some specification that is not specified here, right? Because it's looking at the background of the whole site, right? What you are seeing is good because if the background of the whole site is white and you put it on a white text, then because this particular text will still be fine because this one is not talking about the background, okay? So, but even if the background is white, right, and the text is white, this test will still pass because it's just talking about the white. It's about the text. It's not talking about the background. Those are the questions that you need to ask so that I work in a place, I never forget this particular inscriptions on their wall. It says that if it's not written down, it is not real. Technically, what they are saying is that everything needs to be written down. Don't assume. Do you get it? As a keyway, you are not going to assume that this is what the person is saying or have at the back of his mind. You need to ask the questions to say, guys, okay, do you mean the background should be non-white for this white to work? Do you get it now? If you say so, then you can say, okay, can you put that also in your requirement so that we know that that is captured? Do you get it now? Which I think is a valid one, okay? Oh, well done, Sam. But yeah, but my question is not yet answered. Why are we saying that the menu should be static?
Because I believe we're still, the development has not written any code yet about it, and then they've not explained to us what should happen if it's been clicked. So there's not full information of they have not created any expectation of what should happen if it's clicked. So they don't want to give us any assumption whatsoever. Maybe.
All right, cool. Brilliant. Okay. So now Ayodele, you are right. I'm coming. Ayodele, yeah.
Yeah, about the static stuff. I asked the PA why we're
doing the stuff. He said that is what the PO want. That is how the PO want it. That's what
Okay.
they said when I asked the question.
All right, cool. Well done that you've actually asked the question, which is brilliant. Okay. Oh, Ugochi.
Okay, I think the primary reason, number one, is this. Maybe that's the way the PO wants it. Then secondly, technically, I'm thinking because it's a green field, like it's yet undeveloped. We are starting from the scratch. I don't know if that's the reason.
Okay. All right, cool. Solomon, you had your hand up before.
Yes, sir. Actually, I wanted to talk about the non-click. I believe the PO has not gotten stories that they want to put behind each of the additional informations. That's why they put it on static here.
Okay, cool. I think you guys are right but more often, right, in the requirements, okay, in the sprint planning or in your meeting with the PO, or it might not even be the PO, it might be BA as well, because you don't even need to ask the PO, you might also need to ask the BA. What do you think about this? Why are we putting it static? Is that how it's going to be like that forever? Do you get it? I don't believe that a menu should not be clickable. And the BA will tell you, okay, for this particular sprint, right, we are trying to say that this is our expectation, right? That what we are expecting is just for the menu to be there, right? Whether they are clickable, they are not clickable, it's not part of our expectation for now. So that because it's that information is useful for keywords. Do you get it now? So that you don't click on it and it's not clicking and then you raise a bug, right? What they are saying is that for this particular story, right, it's okay for the menus to be there, right? That is the expectation, right? But of course, we know, and you know, that it's going to be clickable. That would be a new story, technically. But this story finishes when you can see the menu, right? Whether it's click or doesn't click is a different story. Now, question now. If you are testing this application, right, and the menus are clickable, what will you do?
That is a bug.
Okay.
Because it was not meant to do that.
Okay. Any other contrary opinion? Solomon?
Because you won't find any information there, so it makes it a bug.
Okay. What if you find information there?
The BA has already said it's not to be, it's to be static. And maybe by the time the developer makes it and he made it open, and a tester comes to check and he didn't see that the menu must be static. That's why it makes it a bug.
Okay. All right. So this one, I'll say this is where your job is very, very interesting as a QA, right? For me, if I've been paid as a QA and I've been paid by number of bugs, I will raise it. You can't tell me it's wrong. But I know that technically that bug would be removed later because, of course, you know that there's a follow-up project or story after this one that the menu will be clickable, right? Because in some cases, developers can go ahead and make it, clickable. Do you get it now? So whether it's clicked to somewhere or doesn't click somewhere, or you click to somewhere that the BA wanted, it's a different thing, or it's clickable. But the fact that the BA is saying that not clickable, right? And even for me, I would say that that particular feature or that line should not be there, right? They will only say, oh, it can be silent. Whether it's clickable, it's not clickable, that's fine. As long as you can see those hyperlinks. But the only thing that they're trying to say is like, don't test the page at the back of that because we've not actually started or we are still gathering requirement for it. So for now, you can raise a bug, but you know that technically that bug, you are only trying to save your face, right? In case there's no follow-up story, right? And eventually it doesn't click, right? Someone should not come to you and say, we told you that home page should not be clickable. And why is it clickable? But you say, oh, I've raised a bug for it. But if eventually they now say, okay, yeah, we have another story and that story is already done, right? Because it's possible you might have another story that now say home page is clickable. Do you get it now? So you just kind of remove it. Do you get it now from it? And that's fine. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. But one thing that you should know is like you should not now go to the maybe developer and say, oh, no, it has to be not clickable, blah, blah, blah. Do you get it now? Because you know that this story will be clickable in future, right? But of course, you have been paid to raise a bug. Just raise it. Then if the developer say, no, I put it because I'm working ahead of everyone. And say, okay, no problem. So I'm going to close it when we have that story. Do you get it now? But let's leave it for now. That's it. Yeah. Because for you, you don't want to miss anything at all, right? It's better that you raise it and you close the story, you close the bug, rather than not raising the bug and you think, you assume that, yeah, this story is going to be there to cover this particular feature. Okay, all right, now, okay, cool. That is fine. So now, after we've done the static testing of this, what do we do?
I'm not sure, but we can I also say what we just did is we did a walkthrough or what?
Yeah, so what we've just done also is the walkthrough, is part of static testing, right? Is a review, right? Then after that, what should we do? What's the next thing to do?
I think we should write about test cases.
Thank you, Thompson. So the next thing is for us to write test cases, right? So the question is that how do we write the test cases? So what should we write? What do we put in there? So there are two ways to write your test cases, okay? You can write your test cases in an informal, we normally call it traditional approach, right? Traditional approach is without BDD, right? So as normal, how you should do, right? So let's do that in two forms within maybe 10 or 15 minutes, if that's okay. So we need to write our test cases, right? So now what I want you to do, right? On this story now, click on add links on the right bottom, yeah, down a bit, down, where you after the related work, up a bit, yeah, add links, that section, down, click on it, expand it. So you see down at the bottom of that, yeah, add links. So add new item. So now we want to add a child, and that child should be test case. So where you have the task, okay, can you change that? No, leave that one as a child, okay, because it's going to be under the story. So that, yeah, that one should not test case. Okay, so now on the title, right, you want to say verify, okay. So, and we can split this into different test cases, right? So for instance, now we can say verify header or verify menu. Do you get it now? It doesn't, yeah. So I would say verify menu views, or yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's fine. So, and you can click on, yeah, click on OK. Yeah. And you can see this is your test case, right? So it's got your action, your expected behavior, right? So what should we do? Because I want to be able to go back to the other one. So do something for me, right? Right click on your tab, right? At the top, right click on the tab, duplicate this tab, okay? Go on the top, on the tab, to up, go up more, up. Then next tab, go to your next tab where you have the Azure. No. Go, yeah, click on that. Yeah, right click instead of clicking on that tab now. The same thing, you click on the tab, right click on the tab. No, on the tab where you switch into the tab. No. You know how to duplicate a tab, right? So go to that tab, the Optimize, yeah, right click on it. Then, yeah, exactly. Click on duplicate. Yeah. brilliant. So the first line that we have, so when you are writing your test cases, you need to consider the description as well as acceptance criteria. But one thing, acceptance criteria is a criteria that they've put in there to validate that the user story is completed. Do you get it now? That's more often people focus on the acceptance criteria when you are writing your test cases, because if the acceptance criteria is fulfilled, the user story at the top where you have the description should be fulfilled as well. But don't take their word for it. In some cases, it's not. So when you're looking at your acceptance criteria, also look at the fact that have I been able to verify that the user story is complete? Do you get it now? So now let's look into our acceptance criteria. The first step is like giving a user, I'm a user on MentorSkid website. Okay. And when I navigate to the home page, the first one, I don't think you need to validate that. Okay. So, but we can actually put that, okay, into our steps. Okay. So let's go into the next tab. Okay. And we can put that in the step action. Okay. So we can quickly say, so now different people have got different ways of writing this. It's English. As long as you are able to explicitly tell what you are saying, what you're about to do, right? So for instance, you can say as a user, or I navigate or go to mentorskid.com. Do you get it now? So, and that is fine, okay? As a user I navigate to, as a user of MentorSkid, okay? Yeah, navigate to MentorSkid website. Or go to, it's different anyway. So you don't need to say I, just say navigate, okay. Navigate to MentorSkid website. No, just type.
What you said is different from what I typed. That's why I changed it.
Okay.
As a user of MentorSkid, I navigate. Okay, it's not correct.
All right. So now, so some people will just say, oh, go to MentorSkid website. It's also fine as well. Do you get it now? So because at this point, it is not really user, it's not really kind of fussy because you are not logging in, you're only going there to see. So even if you are not saying as a user, it's still okay. Do you get it now? So even if you say navigate, go to a website, it's still fine at this level because you are not even logging in. You are not, because you are just normal user anyway. So we want to put expected result. So when you go to the website, what do you want to see? Can someone tell me? So what do we need to see? What is the expected result when we navigate to the website?
Should be able to see the landing page or is it the home page?
Okay. All right. So one, be careful this word. And I know some people even argue on this word, the landing page, the home page. For me, I rather use word that is kind of, not confusing. Home page, people know what's the home page. Landing page, that is still a bit debatable. What's a landing page? Do you get it now? So what I would say in this one is like, this page, the page should be opened successfully, right? You don't need to say home page, okay? Because you say when you go to the home page or you go to the website, do you get it now? The website should be opened successfully. Do you get it now? And you can even put without error. Do you get it now? Should be opened successfully without error. So, okay. All right. So then after that, what are we going to see? What do we need to see? Go back to the story again. So the story is now telling us that, now we should be able to view different menus. Okay. So then what you need to do, right? You go back to the test again. So what are we checking for? Check
Menu.
that, check that you can see the menus. Not checked, only check because they're present. So, and you could also use the word verify or validate. Do you get that you can see the menu anyway? So, but you need to use one, and you can't use both of them as or the three. So then what is the expected result?
See all the menu without them being clickable.
Okay, so you won't say see all the menu. What are these menu? Do you get it now? So you will say this menu are displayed. You need to specify those menu. You need to put them in there. Do you get? So you need to go to the to the story, right, and copy that.
The home page, about us, find a mentor,
Yes,
contact us,
exactly.
login, sign up.
Are displayed. Yeah. The following menus are displayed. Yeah. No, hold on. So you don't say see that the following menu are displayed, okay? Because this one, you are not going to be seeing, you are only validating. Do you get it now? The following, yeah, exactly. So if you want to say see that, it has to be in the action, but this is your result now. Yeah. The following menus are displayed. Then you can press enter. I think you should press shift enter. No, shift enter at the end so that you can go to the next. Yeah. Okay, then paste. Yeah. Okay, so then what is that sufficient?
No,
Okay, what's missing?
we should be able to add that verify that the menu are not clickable.
Okay, that's brilliant. Also, we can put that in the next line. Verify the menus are not clickable. No, now you don't. I wouldn't say that. We say click on the menus. Click on each of the menus. So then, yeah, the menus are not clickable.
Oh, sorry. The menus listed, home is not, you didn't add bullets to the home.
Yeah, I think it's the joy of copy and paste. You can fix that one later anyway. So yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So is it sufficient now? Guys, is that sufficient? Is that all that we need to?
No,
Okay.
it
Remains the colors of the.
not checked about the
No.
header.
Okay. What do you mean by the other?
So that I can view different menu option on the header. Then I should be able to view. Oh, okay. I'm wrong. Sorry.
We should check
Okay,
on the colors. We should check
Okay,
on
yes.
the color.
Okay, yeah. The colors is the next one. So you need to go and check the colors.
Which color is white?
Okay, all right. So I think someone actually, yeah, that's a good question. All right. So what should we put there, right? Okay, is that sufficient? Check the
I
menu.
think that's okay.
Yeah?
I think that's okay.
Not really. There's a particular thing that you need to put there to make it specific.
The text color. It was
Yeah,
covered before.
exactly. Yeah, is the
It was
text
covered.
color. Check the text color for the menu. So that's fine anyway, you can leave it. So, and the text, you can now say the color should be white. Yeah. Okay. All right. So the next thing, right, going forward, what's the next thing?
Check the get started color
The color did get started. So
text.
Okay.
or should it be check the get started text and box color?
Okay. All right. I can see what the B has written. It said the get started should be in an orange rectangle box. Do you get it now?
Yes.
should we not split that, or we are endeavoring to put it together?
See, it depends. I can tell you this is very, very important now. So, like I said, when you are learning things, you learn how to be fast. Also, you learn how to survive on the job, right? So what you just written, someone can write it within 2 lines, right? Other people can write it with 10 lines, right? I remember my wife was working in a place, and the test manager gave them, that was almost maybe 7 years ago, right? Even more than that, actually. So the test manager gave them to write 6 test cases in a day, right? That's what they are meant to do, right? So from now, right, you guys already finished. What they are meant to do is to do the 6 in a day, 6 of this. So do you think you can do the 6 in a day?
Definitely.
Definitely. And I was telling her, I said, I can do 20 in a day or 30 in a day. Do you get? But it now
Yes.
depends on how low level you want to go, right? Some people, you can write this within 3 lines. Do you get it now? You can write it with
Yes.
10 lines. Do you get? And start
Yes.
to expand it and expand it. Check the menu, and also check the text of the menu. And even instead of line 3, right? No, line 2, right? Some people can write it into, okay, check the about us, check the find mentor, check, instead of you putting them together like that. Do you get?
Yes.
So it's now depends on who is paying you. Are they paying you by number of test cases that you write and lines? Do you get it now? So you now need to look at it and say, oh, should I split it so that it looks like it's big? So that someone will not just say it's only 2 lines or 3 lines. So do you get? So now
Yes.
that is on you, right? And to be like to just to give you motivations, actually, some people, like I said, in their workplace, this is the only thing that they do as a tester, writing test cases. And you think it's easy. It's not that easy as well, because you need to read the requirement, do you get it now, and then translate it. Where other people just pick this up and then execute it. All right. And some people will write it and execute as well. Do you get?
Box color. Can I check their statements again?
Okay. All right, cool. So what you need to do, save this one, okay? We're going to save it, and that will be for now, okay? So where you have save and close, you click on save, or maybe just save and close, click on that. Okay, you can see now the story, the test case is on the right-hand side now, right? Can you see that? Yeah, that is the test case. Yeah, exactly. So, and if you want to open it, you can go back and click on it. It's going to open again for you, right? So, and you can make amend. Okay. Now we want to write the same thing now using a BDD fashion. Okay. So, which is going to be, most people don't do this, okay? But it's fine if you know how to do that as well. You can decide which step, which approach you want to use anyway. So, right, click another one, add link again. Or maybe we should just go to another, yeah, let's go to another story, right? So, okay. If you guys don't mind, can we finish at 11 o'clock? Is that okay? I know you are planning to finish at 10. Is it okay?
Yes, we are good.
Any other person, so it's not only Damilola that is enjoying it.
Yes,
It's
we are
not okay. Okay. Apologies, guys. So I know, yeah. So this is another story, right? So like I said, the first thing that we need to do is what?
Walk through static
Walk
test.
through, you do static testing first, okay? So let's assume that because of time, I'm going to leave you guys to do static testing. So my approach now is for us to just create another test case on that. I'm going to assume that you've done the static testing, okay? And sometimes you might also be doing the static testing as you are writing your test cases. Do you get it now? Using one stone to kill two birds. Do you get it now? At the same time as you are writing your test cases, you are statically testing the application as well, the story rather, okay? Let's create another feature file. Sorry, another test case, No, on this one, okay? If you want, duplicate that. Anyway. Okay, new, yeah. So because you've already created one before, it remembers it. Do you get it now? And you just need to put the title. So yeah, this is the footer, right? So sometimes when you're doing your title, ensure that it is a title that is a bit specific, okay? What are you validating? What's your test condition, okay? Your test condition is the feature that you are testing, what you are validating. It could be that the footer is displayed with something. So you need to be specific so that the person that is looking at the title understand, even from the title, what you are trying to do. At the top of that, yeah. Okay, so the test case now, if you change, just make the title a bit more explicit, okay? So because if you just say footer design, what is about it? What are we doing? Do you get it now? We can come back again, okay? We can come back again and expand the title. So it could be like, are we trying to say the footer is displayed? Are we trying to verify the design? Do you get it now? So we can still come back and put more information on that, because so that when someone reads the title, understands what we are trying to do, right? We just say footer. Yes, what about it? Do you get it now? What are you testing? Is it that the footer contains something, or is it that the footer is at the bottom of the page, or is it that the footer? So we want to kind of put that title out there, right? So that people can, even without going into the content of the test, they can infer what we are doing. Do you get my point?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. So I will leave it to leave for later anyway. So let's go back to the story right now. I said that we're going to use a BDD approach, right? So the first one is like giving that I'm a user of Prep Major when I navigate. Okay, so now let's go back to that. We're going to say just giving on the website, Prep Major website, giving I navigate to Prep Major website. Giving I navigate. Another thing that you can see that I'm not saying giving a navigate to prepmajor.co.uk or prepmajor.blah blah or just a prepmajor website. The reason why I'm saying that is like the URL might be different. You might be working on a keyword environment or a test environment or development environment, which are going to give to you. That is why I'm not putting the URL here, right? But in some test cases, if you already know the URL, you can also put it there, because that gives more information so that the person that is clicking on it will know. Do you get it now? That's one. But if you don't know the URL, you just put it like that. This is a bit generic, okay? and it just give you, so once you know the URL, you can put it on your test cases. But if you don't put it as well, it's okay, because then you'll be advised on URL to use, okay? So given navigate, so so what's the next thing? So okay, all right, go back. So you say when I scroll down to the bottom of the page. So now on that expected behavior, it's the same thing. The URL is displayed successfully, or the website is displayed successfully. Then scroll to the bottom of the page. No. You need to type it, because when I scroll to the bottom of the page. You said I should be able to view the different menu. Yeah. Copy that. The then clause. Yeah. Okay. So go to the next one. So additional information, the footer should be okay. So you go back, go back to the test. Okay, copy everything in the additional information. Yeah, to the down. Everything down. Paste it in the expected results. Okay. So in the action now, and then I checked the footer. Then not check. Then I check the footer. Okay. So now, like I said before, right? If you are being paid by number of steps, okay, this number 3, you can divide them into 5 lines. Do you get it now? Do you get my point now?
Yes.
100%.
So
I
you
was
can
about
put number
to
1, number
split
2,
it
number 3.
like the other one.
Yes, that's fine. Yeah, for the sake of time, so I just do that. So you can go back and split all of them. Do you get it now? And make it individually on, so checking that, they are not clickable, they are blah, blah, you get it now. So which is fine, okay? So this is it. Then what do you need to do now? So when the story is ready, right? And we're still going to talk about how to execute. You can see that we've not actually checked the application, right?
Yes.
We don't know how the application looks like.
Yes.
Do you get it now?
Yes.
So what we've done, we've actually gone there to say, when the application is ready, we know what we are checking for. We know what we should see. So that's what you now need to, when the application is ready, you will now go to take your test case and go to your action. Action say I should do this. Results say I should see this. And you look at that. Okay, I've done this. Am I seeing this? If you are doing that, if you check, okay, it's fine. Pass. Okay, action say I should do this, and results say I should find this, and you cannot, it doesn't tally, then it's a bug. Can you see testing is simple, right?
Very.
That's
We
what
hope
you're going to be doing like
it
forever.
continues
Right?
like this.
So what you paid for 3 months is what I've taught you within 30 minutes. Right? So exactly. So yeah, so that's what you're going to be doing now. So next time, I think the tutors are still going to teach you the theoretical part as well. So, but to be honest, this is the fundamental part of what you're going to do. And there are different flavors to it as well to get it now. And I do appreciate that what we've done is still a basic one, right? So, when I taught you about the techniques, right? And have we used any of the techniques here?
We were
Static.
static, yes. We've not done
Okay,
dynamic
we've used
because
the static testing. Okay, which other thing that we? So have we used either boundary value or equivalent partition?
I think we use boundary.
How? Why?
We
When
were
do we use
trying to
boundary?
make sure that the boundary of the scope of what is required and the acceptance criteria is what we are expected at the
Okay,
expected result.
okay, you kind of wiggle your way around. This is okay. So, but boundary is more often used when you are dealing with numbers. Okay, when you're dealing with numbers. But at this point, we didn't actually use numbers, right? But what I can say is like we've tried to use equivalent partitioning in one part, right? Because we focused on the valid test cases, right? But we haven't focused on the invalid part. Do you get it now? For instance, the other one that we did with the headers, okay, we also need to consider that you are not seeing any other thing except from the one that is listed. We didn't put that there. Do you get?
Yes.
So that is you ensuring and saying that it's exclusive. These are the 5 menus that you should see. You should not see any other thing. Do you get? That also applies to the fact that, the test, we also said the test should not be clickable.
Yes.
And we didn't also say that, if the test is clickable, it is wrong. Of course, it is mutually exclusive in the tonation. Do you get it now? So which we are saying that it should not be clickable means that if it's clickable, it failed. Do you get it now? So we have that in themselves as valid and invalid. But even though we are not explicitly saying that, yeah, if it's clickable, it failed. Do you get it now?
Yes.
So yeah, so those are the we've used equivalent partitioning in that aspect because we said, it should not be clickable, right? Because if it's clickable, then we know we are going to fail it. Do you get it now? So we have 2 partitions in that instance, right? So yeah, so what I'm expecting you now, based on what you've learned now, you can now take all the stories. Each one of you should write their own test case. Do you get it now? Don't rely on others, okay? Write your own test cases. Do you get it now? Individually, right? For all the stories. Does that make sense? Is that clear?
It's clear, but that means we should
Yeah.
write it on our own. We should not write it on the group at GeoDevelop. Am I correct?
Yeah, you can write on the group at GeoDevelop now. Both of you can write your own individual one. It's going to be like there will be a lot of duplicates, which is fine.
Okay.
You get it now. Yeah. So, and what you could also do, yeah, at the top of that, you got your name assigned to it, right? Each one is going to have their name assigned. Do you get it now? And when the story is ready, test it yourself. Do you get it now? Because it's practical. You don't want to pick one story because that's what I've seen before. Someone will just pick only the footer, and that's what they would do for 2 weeks. Whereas now, within 1 hour, we've done 2 test cases. I don't want that, okay? So every test case, every story, individual tester should test it. So don't say, oh, I'm be assigned to this one. Each one of you should test all the stories. There are not many. In this sprint, how many do you have? You have maybe 5 or 6 stories, right? And I think you can write the test cases for them. Are we clear?
Clear, boss.
Yeah. Now, the same thing happens also when we move to automation, okay? Each of the story, you need to write it, okay? We are not going to assign anybody to any story. Okay? So, and the same thing, of course, I'm expecting you to have duplicate box created. Do you get it? Is fine. Of course, if you are at work, they give you different story to test, but you want to have a flavor of everything. Do you get it now? It's like, so that you don't go back and be talking about 1 or 2 stories that you've written. So yeah, let everyone write all the stories, test all the stories as if we only have 1 person. Do you get it now? Even though you might have 20 people. Have I been clear?
Yes, I think it's a good development.
Okay, all
But
right. And I think that is good, right? Isn't it?
that's
It
good.
gives
But
us visibility
Very
to everything,
practical.
right?
i-
Yeah.
is
Okay.
it feasible that everybody is going to be assessed? Like, hope it's not going to be too much to be assessed.
No, it's fine. For instance, what we're going to do is your mentor can now use 1 step. To be honest, like this one now, there's no right or wrong on this thing. Do you get it now? Once you are able to get it right, you will know that you get it right.
Yes.
Yeah, you will know that you get it right. If you are struggling to do, you will know that I am struggling with this. Then you can shout out. Do you get it now? And right now, I've told you, even this one, you can expand it. There are different ways. Unless if you already capture the what's it called? The techniques and how to do it. Doing it is fluid. Do you get it now?
Yes.
If I was to write this tomorrow, right, I won't write it like this. Do you get it now? I'm very sure if Damilola will write another one tomorrow, it's not going to be like this.
Yes.
So that's why you will not say, oh, what have I done? Have I done wrong? No. Do you get it now? As long as someone can pick this story up or this test up and then test the application and understand that, yeah, you are able to cover everything in the future.
Yeah,
It's
no
as
problem.
simple as saying, like this story now, oh, test footer. You just put 1 line 1, test footer, and you dump everything on the story into 1 line. You've done the job. What you just left the person to do is just to read the expected results and say, okay, confirm. Do you get it now? But of course, that's not clear. You want to make sure that, yeah, you have each lines covered. Do you get it now? That's just it anyway. Any question? I've got 1 minute. Okay. All right. So I know people always say that I'm a bit, lenient with keywords. So that's their own palaver. You are my baby. Anyway.
Thank you very much.
So, yeah. So please ensure that you do what I asked you to do. It's very, very important. And to be honest, out of all the other roles, your role is the most difficult part. To get it now, I can say it anyway. So that's because it is a bit technical, but to be honest, it's easy as well. As you can see, anyone can do this anyway. But because it's a bit, there's technical parts attached to it as well. So, but that is why it's good anyway. Okay. And one thing I can tell you as well is in this field in the UK, right, the only people that do it, right, is there are Nigerians and Indians. It's not, you can't see another person. Nigerians and Indians. So even Ghanaians don't do, I don't know whether they're in the UK or not, but in my life, I think I've worked with 1, or maybe not 2 now, 3 Cameroonians, but you see Indians and Nigerians there. So those are the people that you are going to be competing with. So for me, it is good, right? Because you're not even competing with a lot of Caucasian, like what BAs and Scrum Master will be competing with. You get it now?
Sir.
So yeah, that's why for me, your accent does not matter because you have the same accents as the next Nigerian. You have the same accents like
and the
what's it called?
design is better.
Indians as well. Do you get it now? So yeah. So even the recruiter will not mind because they know the next person that they are speaking to is the same accent as well. Okay. All right.
Our
Cool.
accent is even
So,
better
sorry,
than
I know someone was saying his hand. Sorry, I wanted to finish. If you want to, yeah, please, Emmanuel. Yeah.
Okay. Now I want to ask, in a situation whereby the project owner gives a specification and is be written by a BA, but then we look through the story and we find some features not really making sense by the time we do a kind of static testing. So what happened thereafter? Are we supposed to talk to the BA, to talk to the project owner, to see our view, to see that we are not finding it as being making sense, or since the project owner want it that way? For instance, the example that you gave, why should those menus not be clickable? That we have to query it. That why will it not be clickable? So are we to raise it that the BA, or we should speak with the project owner, to that regard? So what exactly are we supposed to do?
Okay. All right. Thanks, Emmanuel. It's good that you're also speaking up. And the word is product owner. Okay. Because sometimes it's good to speak so that you can be able to be corrected on this, if that's okay. It's product owner, not project owner, if that's okay. So,
All right.
but okay. Yeah. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now to answer your question, like I said, if I'm being rated by number of bugs I create, you get it now. This thing, if I see anything, even if it's a typo in your stuff, I will go and raise that as a bug because indeed it's a bug. So I will say, oh, the requirement has got a bug. This should be this, this should be that. That is it. If I want to be a lot of be picky. But what happens, like, you might also put you in a bad book with the BA. Do you get it now?
Yes.
So, but the best approach is to call the BA and say, oh, Mary, I think this is not clear. You want to clarify this? Or Mary, I've got a different view about this particular story. Can we have a quick call? Okay. Or send a message to say, oh, you said that this particular story should be this. Are you sure that is it? Or is it not this or this? Can you clarify? Do you get it now? You don't need to go directly to the product owner. You just go to the BA. Yeah, because the BA that wrote the story, you get it now. Just for him to clarify. And he or she will go back to the product owner if she hasn't got the answer for you, to actually confirm that, oh, the keyword raised this question, and which is a valid question. Is that what you are thinking of as well? Then they'll come back to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. All right, cool. Thank you so much. Apologies. I think we used an hour more, but hopefully it's been worthwhile anyway. And thanks so much for Damilola presented. To be honest, it's not easy to present on the screen and typing. To be honest, I've done this. I know even you would misspell your name. That is what happens when you start to type and you see almost like 20 eyes following you. Actually, you can even misspell your father's name. So, but I want to say well done, Damola, for what you've done anyway. So, do we have any question before we leave? Any other thing? So, I know that you have another session on Friday. I will not be there or yeah. So, but of course, I will try to come into this session maybe once in a week to see what you are doing anyway. So, but even this time is not even convenient for me. Maybe I will speak to Olawumi to see on what session I can do to catch up with you every time on this. But one thing that I want you to do for me now before we meet again, right, which I don't know when, is for you to write your test cases, right? It might be me coming on the session to say, can you show me your test cases, right? So that one by one we look at that, or maybe be one of your mentor, or it might be Rita or any other mentors anyway. So, but make sure all your test cases within your team, or your story within your team, you write your test cases individually, okay? All right, thank you everyone. Have a good night, yeah. And thanks Rita also for this session, and also I think Rashford is gone. Anyway, yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Can you get Rita?